Straight Fly. Ever since 1.9, it has been a staple in Extreme Demons and lazy, uncreative challenges. From Cataclysm to Bloodbath, these 1.9 base levels impacted the game more than we could have ever imagined. So from your average 2 star to a former impossible level, one question has been left completely unanswered. What is the hardest possible Straight Fly in Geometry Dash? Let's start with the non-demon levels. You're really not going to find much Straight Fly here, aside from these completely empty sections, which I'm gonna call Straight Fly. These levels are pretty laid back and aren't supposed to be stressful. So moving on to Easy Demons. This is Ship, an easy demon entirely dedicated to Straight Fly. And while most of the difficulty comes from bad transitions and distracting art, the Straight Fly is decently tight and most new players would struggle with this, especially at 60 FPS. But Extreme Demons are where it becomes really difficult, and what is most likely the hardest Straight Fly section in any rated level is Tartarus 44 to 46. This looks free, right? Well, this is where fixed hitboxes come in. Basically, Riot took Rob Top's hitbox job and made it so if you even made any contact with the spikes, you immediately die. Although this does get consistent as it's only 3 clicks in total, so it's arguably this section in Slaughterhouse. Since not only is it a tight Straight Fly, but spikes come out further than others, making it pretty luck-based. The Silent Club Step ship is also worth a mention, and while it's not rated, I feel like it's one of the most iconic Straight Flies in the world, as at the moment it is a literal barrier between people beating a former impossible level. But what about challenges? The first challenge you're probably going to think of is Quasar's OP Straight Fly challenge, one of the most iconic challenges in Geometry Dash. Maybe even Flight of Hell or Flight of D. And while yeah, these challenges are incredibly difficult, there's something a lot, and I mean a lot harder. I feel like Pinewood! Oh my god! What the? This is Pinewood, the hardest Straight Fly challenge in the game, with the list removing it because it relied too much on incredibly high CPS. But this still isn't the hardest possible Straight Fly, even though it's incredibly tight with only a few victors. Because to calculate the hardest Straight Fly, we need to bring a human element into this. While this is the same gap, the dual gameplay is significantly harder, as A, it's used a lot less so players have less practice with it, and B, there is way more gravity, so it goes up a lot slower and down a lot faster. But that's not all, because if we hide the trail and icon, it becomes even harder because now you can't even see what you're doing. Also, mini and slower speed for more gravity with consistent portal changes to throw you off. I'm also going to take each spike into free move and use Megahack V7's hitbox tool to make this the tightest possible gap. So this is the hardest Straight Fly in the game, and while it is possible, it's never going to be completed. But if you're still interested in how hard Geometry Dash can get, click the video on screen right now.